students. Today we're going to talk about denotation and connotation. This is for high school English, predominantly around the 9th and 10th grade area. For most of you, you may know what denotation and connotation are, or at least one of them, but just in case that you don't, I'm going to go over their meaning and then talk about how to look at words differently. This is going to address objectives with distinguishing word meanings and also distinguishing and deciphering connotative meanings. Okay? All right, now to begin with, I have denotation and connotation up here. They sound very difficult, but they're not. The easiest way to remember them is to look mainly at the beginning of each word. This is what I tell my students. Denotation generally is going to be what is accepted as the dictionary meaning. Okay? The accepted meaning. It can be the established meaning. Like maybe this word has a very long history. Okay? Now, the connotation. Okay? You can call it the common and cultural meaning of a word. But also, it depends on the context. You've all been in that situation where someone says something to you specifically, and something that generally wouldn't mean something negative, all of a sudden it seems like they meant it in a negative way. Sometimes that is because of the connotation. Alright, so I have some examples for you that I think are pretty interesting and kind of fun too. So one example I have is the word lit. So I'm going to put this in red, like lit like a fire. Okay, now, the denotation, the dictionary meaning, or the most accepted meaning of the word lit is the past tense of lighting a fire. Okay, so this is past tense of lighted. So generally you mean past tense of light, excuse me. But generally you accept that with like lighting a fire, a campfire, whatever. Okay? Now, the connotative meaning of the word lit. I hear students say this all the time. If something is lit, it's fun, it's interesting, it's exciting. Okay? Alright? Check this out. Got another example for you. Okay? I think this is kind of fun. Alright. Now, we've all used the word cool. Right? So I'm going to put that in blue. Alright, now the denotation of the word cool means basically to have a low temperature, not warm to the touch, or maybe the weather is cool outside. But again, the connotative meaning of the word cool is basically fun and interesting. The same as the word lit. Now what's so funny about that to me and so ironic is you have hot, cold, lighting a fire, and then a state of a low temperature. And yet they both, the connotative meaning, the common cultural meaning, mean basically the same thing. Okay? So that is denotation and connotation. Now, I'm going to do a little bit with you. I'm going to do one guided practice, and then I'll let you practice a couple. So I'm going to go to the next page. Now, here's another one that you don't hear as much anymore used in a connotative meaning, but the word type. So, some people might say, I'm going to put one denotation, one connotation up here, and we'll try to talk about the difference. Okay, so we have that album is type, and that shirt is to type. Okay, when I first look at this, you might have trouble telling what's more denotation and what's connotation. It really depends on the way that it is used. Okay? Now, if I say that album is tight, okay, generally the word tight is going to have to do with the way that something fits. Maybe it's something that you're screwing the cap on a bottle and you get it too tight, or maybe it's clothing. Tight has to do with the way something fits, generally, something physical. So an album, okay, I have trouble believing that that's the meaning of this word. Let me look at the second one. Now, this makes sense to me. That shirt is too tight. okay, the way it fits. So this is really, if you look up the word tight in the dictionary, this is going to be more of your denotation, but an album. It seems like they're using the word tight here the same way you would use lit or cool, interesting, fun, exciting. So this looks more like my connotation here, okay? Now I am going to give you, one example, another one that will kind of be food for thought, and I want you to pause the video when I get it up here and look at it. I'm thinking of the word plain. Plain has a denotation and connotation. So one example, okay, that white shirt is plain. So there's one. And she looks plain today. All right, I want you to pause it. Try to determine which one focuses more on a denotative meaning, which one focuses more on a connotative meaning. All right, hopefully you paused the video and you were able to determine which was denotative, which was connotative. I look at the first one. That white shirt is plain. White t-shirt. Doesn't necessarily mean that one thing is positive or negative. We're just looking for mainly the meanings of the words and where they come from. A white t-shirt or white shirt doesn't specify that it has a logo or anything. So if you look up the word plain in the dictionary, it's nothing spectacular or nothing out of the ordinary. So you could say normal would be a good substitution for the word plain. It's a neutral word. It's not positive or negative. So when I see that the white shirt is plain, that pretty much fits with what the definition would be in the dictionary. Doesn't seem to have much of a cultural meaning there. So I'm going to put denotation by it. All right, and then she looks plain today. Well, what does it mean for someone to look plain? Does that mean they look perfectly normal? Is it neutral? Could this have a positive or negative meaning? When you really look at this word, okay, she, a person, all right, if you tell someone they look plain, I mean, I don't really think that that's a positive thing to say to someone, but also that word plain, the way they're using it, it kind of seems like they're kind of saying something a little bit different. Okay, so instead of the word plain meaning normal, here it kind of seems as though they're saying maybe she's not dressed up like she normally is. Maybe she looks like she just rolled out of bed. So this is more of a connotative meaning here. All right, guys, so I hope this is something that can help you with understanding the meanings of words in different situations. Thank you.